Okay, let's look later and have a look at the statistics. This was for months, and then just going up here only because Philip joined the team. Okay, well, he isn't really bad, isn't he? Well, okay, let's look who's there. Referrals today here. Stumble upon. Okay, they hit us again today, and nothing special here, but block P code. Ah, well, that's Pascal from the Netherlands, Pascal de Bruyne. 26 hits, not bad, and yesterday 73 hits. Perhaps I should read the email he sent me. It's a long one. Oh, okay, I'll read it. What does he write? Hi, I've just watched episode 11 for the second time. Whoa, 2 times. And while it's basically a good episode, well, now it comes, huh? Especially with the raw theory up front, your raw has progressed massively. Okay, not so bad, my episode there. Maybe sooner or later it's time to revise this episode? Well, it is. Okay, here are my comments on show 11. You used a very, very bad photo to start with. Yes, okay, it was underexposed like anything. You were basically trying to rescue a failed photo. Well, I would take a good photo. Well, I do that in that episode. Definitely. You skimmed over the color management tab. I would spend a little bit more time on that. Yes, first it's important to note that color management is about achieving accurate colors, not about making pretty pictures. I think that's important. So for making pretty pictures, we use the curves and all these tricks, and we use color management to get the colors that are out there into the camera and from the camera into the computer so that they look like they were, and then we can tinker with them. Okay, so this color management stuff is important. I also noticed you were using a camera color profile and color matrix, which is bad. Oh, color matrix is sort of a generic color enhancement which can serve as a surrogate if you have no camera specific color profile. Ah, okay, so color matrix in UF-RAW is a substitute if you have no color profile, and you should drop down box only use it if you don't have a color profile, and so I have to fire up UF-RAW. Let's have a look here. So first get the changes I made in the last one back here. Okay, the color management was here. I have here my color profile, and okay, here is a Dropbox color matrix if I don't use the color profile, and no profile only for calibrating stuff. So back to my profile. Okay, profile gamma linearity highly depends on how the profile was made. Good profiles use gamma 1 and linearity 0, and all the bad ones, that do only part of the color correction, assume gamma 0.45, that is gamma for gamma 2.2. Okay, A good profile would do all of the correction, and we should set this for accuracy to the values that are intended. And these values are for this Nikon profile .45 and .02 for linearity. And I will never touch these again. Next thing here. For the working color space profile, you should emphasize people should really stick with sRGB until they really know what they are doing. I'll keep that in mind when I make that episode. Never use anything else than sRGB unless you know what you're doing. And never use anything but sRGB or perhaps Adobe RGB with 8-bit files. Aha, okay, then you get color banding if you use a profile, a different profile from that. The working space, color profile and display color profile have a rendering intent option. For smaller color spaces, people should stick with perceptual rendering. Perception is seeing something, and okay, now it tells here which is basically mathematical inaccurate, but it does keep color accurate relative to each others. Aha, okay, relative colorimetric is mathematically accurate, but causes color clipping in smaller color spaces, and only 16-bit. So we'll stick with the simple stuff here in GIMP. As long as we have 8 bits, we stick with sRGB and perceptual rendering intent. And let's look what I have set here. I have here sRGB, and I don't have any other option. And I have here, yes, perceptual, relative colorimetric, saturation, absolute colorimetric. So we'll leave that alone, perceptual. And I'll stick to 8-bit. I have to stick to 8-bit. And also here with my monitor is set to sRGB. I should make a profile for that, and then I would use here this profile, but here I would also stick to perceptual. I think Pascal is right here. Stick to the simple stuff as long as you don't know exactly what you're doing. It's well, like tuning a motorcycle engine or so. I shared a garage once with a guy who tuned his Moto Guzzi to the scrap. It broke down completely. So just keep these values as they are, and if you have set this page here according to your camera, forget about it. Leave it as it is. You glanced over the detail restoration and highlight clipping buttons. Okay. The film highlight clipping is really excellent when used with photos of people. If they have bright spots on their skin caused by flash or strong sunlight, film highlight clipping can take care of that very effectively. Let me look at that here. This is the stuff here. Here you can say what should happen, clip, or just different ways for overblown pixels. And well, one has to explore this carefully. I think I should cover that in depth when I do this episode. I have to check out what these EV, is this exposure values? What the difference between this button and this button is. Here you have this film, which gives a soft ramp. You have here digital linear. Well, here you have digital, just math, and here you have a little bit more artistic. So back to Pascal's mail here. Your frog can import base curves from Nikon curve files. Okay, this is specific for Nikon users. I'll put that in the blog. You also noticed auto black point correction, which worked somewhat for your sample photo. Auto black works perfectly. It would be nice if your show would reflect that better. Okay, we'll have a look. So auto black is in this one here. Base curve? No, this is a base curve here. So black point, auto black, click. Ah yeah, it changes a little bit. And can I see something in the image? Well, not really. So here's the value. Newer versions of UF RAW also have newer features like lens correction with lens fun and the grayscale mixer. The grayscale channel mixer works mostly like GIMP. Not much attention. We'll look into that. Lens fun. Lens fun works in 16-bit and has a database of calibrated lenses. You have to select your lens and use the current focal length. Correction? Well, we'll go with that. Oh well, I'll check that out. With this image, I had the problem here with this barrel distortion here. And lens fun. This looks like lens correction. Okay, my camera is in here, and now I have the lens. Oh, here, focal length is also in there, and the F number also from the EXIF data. Distance. Well, the distance is a little bit more than this here. So let's select here 4 meters. I think this could be right. So, and lens is search for a lens. Belomo. The Peleng. And generic, fish eyes and so, KMZ. Nikon. A lot of Nikons. And I used the 18200 with the alphabet soup behind it, and it's the longest lens name ever made. Here it is. Have you seen that? Bloop. Well, this looks straight. We'll see it in GIMP. Okay, what is here more? Scale button. Well, reset image to default. How to scale the image for best fit. Then the image is scaled down to fit into the area here, but I'll leave it as it is because I want to crop this image. So then we have here chromatic aberration. Hadn't we this problem here? I had noticed here chromatic aberration. And now let's tackle this. Model. None or linear. Now I have to change this, or this is resetting. KR, KB. No idea what this does. This goes up. This goes down. Here you change the red stuff. Wow, processor overload here. Now I get a lot of chromatic aberration and less, and well, this has to be explored carefully. Well, I reset this for the moment. No, this was better. I have to ask Pascal about this. If he provides this software, he has to know. Yes, Pascal has a own repository for Ubuntu, where he has an up-to-date UFRAW. This one is fresh from today, and I think I'll ask him to explain this a little bit more for me. Optical vignetting. Oh, we can try that. Perhaps we see a difference here. No, a lot of parameters here. I won't play around with them now here. So none. Then we have here lens distortion. Here we come to the panel tools lens model, and these are the values from my camera lens combination. Let's look. If I switch this off, then I have here my old band. If I switch this on, okay, all values back to 0, and now I can take here my Nikon 18-200 and get my values back here. Great stuff. This lens geometry. It's a fish in a fishbowl. Okay. My lens is rectilinear. That's right. It's a lens that is made to make an image as far as possible rectilinear, so that straight lines keep straight and right angles keep right angles. What have we here? Fisheye. So the alternatives are unknown, fisheye, panoramic, and equirectangular. Well, I have to check out what's that. Target geometry. I want to have this rectilinear, and I could choose fisheye, and I get a fisheye view. Let's look at the whole image. So I get a fisheye view without having a fisheye. Perhaps this works the other way around. From a fisheye image you get a straight image, a rectilinear image. Panoramic and equirectangular. Well, we have to check out. I have to check out what this stuff means. So back to rectilinear, and I think that was the whole mail. Let's look. Now, I don't expect a revised show immediately. No, definitely not. And I imagine your energies being more efficiently used elsewhere. Well, I consider this. Well, my energies. On Wednesday I'll have eye surgery, and then I have to see when I am allowed to look at the computer screen again. And now I don't have enough time to make a real show. Too much to do for school. I'll be away from school a week and have to deliver content for the colleagues to cover my classes. Well, okay, the guys will have to do without a show for this week, and I hope that I'll be back on next Tuesday.
photocastnetwork.com your photography resource in the potosphere. Photocastnetwork.com